Hi everyone, it's Crystal, and today I'm going to be talking about the different menstrual cycle phases. It is so amazing what our bodies go through every month, and I believe with more knowledge and understanding, we can be kinder to ourselves. So learning about the menstrual cycle phases is the first step in understanding your cycle. Scientifically speaking, there are only two menstrual cycle phases. The first half, which is the follicular phase, and the second half, which is the luteal phase. The follicular phase is the first half of your cycle, and it starts on day 1 of your period, so the first full day of bleeding you experience. It lasts until ovulation, and it is always a variable length, so it is usually 14 to 20 days long, but it can be shorter or it can be longer. It really just depends on what's normal for you. The luteal phase is the second half of your cycle. It starts the day after ovulation and then ends the day of your period. The luteal phase is a fixed length every cycle. So it usually lasts about 11 to 16 days. If it lasts longer than 16 days, girl, you pregnant. And in that case, it'll last about 9 months. Now, to make these phases easy to understand, I like to break them down into 4 phases. So the first one is the menstrual phase, which is probably the most obvious phase we go through. The second is the mid-follicular phase. The third is the ovulatory phase. And then the fourth is the luteal phase. So let's talk about the menstrual phase. This is when you have your period, and it usually lasts about 3 to 7 days, depending on what's normal for you. So your period is when you shed your uterine lining, which builds up over the course of one cycle. So when you have your period, this is when your hormones estrogen and progesterone are at their lowest points. Although you will notice that as your period comes to an end, you feel a lot more energized, and that's because estrogen starts to rise. The next phase is the mid-follicular phase. Now this starts after you finish your period, and it ends when you ovulate. As estrogen levels rise during this time, another hormone called follicle stimulating hormones starts to rise, and what that does is it stimulates 6 to 8 eggs in one of your ovaries to mature. These eggs go through quite a lengthy process to get to this point, and your body ends up choosing 1 or maybe 2 to be ovulated. Now this leads us to ovulation. This is when your estrogen peaks and then luteinizing hormone is released. And luteinizing hormones actually helps release the egg from its follicle sac. Once the egg bursts from the follicle, it is ready to be fertilized, and it'll travel down your fallopian tube looking for any sperm. And if it is fertilized, it will implant on your uterine lining or your uterine wall. However, if it's not fertilized, then it will disintegrate. And the released egg is only viable for fertilization for 12 to 24 hours after it's released. After ovulation, the empty egg follicle actually closes off and creates a gland called the Corpus Luteum. This is the only time the human body actually creates its own gland, and that happens every single cycle. And the Corpus Luteum produces progesterone, and once it starts producing progesterone, you are in your luteal phase. Progesterone is the hormone that dominates your luteal phase. However, it is produced by the Corpus Luteum, and the Corpus Luteum can only go for so long until it disintegrates, which usually happens 11 to 16 days after you ovulate. When the Corpus Luteum disintegrates, this plunges your progesterone, which signals to your body to start shedding your uterine lining, and your cycle starts all over again. And there you have it. Those are the basics of the menstrual cycle phases. Now, the menstrual cycle is very complex, so I tried to make this as easy to digest as possible. So I'd love to know if you learned anything from this. Please comment below and let me know. Please like this video and share it with anyone who wants to learn more about their menstrual health. And please subscribe, it means so much to me. And as always, I just want to let you guys know that your cycle matters so much, and I am here for you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!